Okay, the first question I want to solve is what options exist for dealing with the seed problem and which one is better? I think there are at least four options for dog freezing. The first option is very simple, just make workers work overtime to meet the requirements. But because of the very low utilization, so workers should too work overtime. But I think this question and this measure is not very good idea, for it haven't failed to solve the fundamental problem and will also incur additional cost because workers need 50% premium for work time. And the third option is multiple sourcing. Multiple sourcing is an outsourcing approach in which products or services are contractual value. Various suppliers needed to conduct the business instead of using single sourcing. It can help to reduce the risk and also increase the flexibility in the supply chain. If something goes wrong when that happens, but this matter still fail to solve the fundamental problem we know, and it also incur several mathematical problems. The third option is controlling the quality of the seed from the supplier. We know sometimes KFS, the supplier, he may send the defective seed and they even send the wrong seed sometimes. So we know the mistake made by the supplier also lead to the wrong ratio. And the firm can, I think, he can add a quality track process before manufacturing and installation. The matter is very useful, I think, for it can reduce the risk of our defectors and also increase the wrong ratio. The first one is stop producing immediately when find there is something wrong with the seed, and then let the expertise to identify the problem and solve it. So the discussion, we know as the team leader indicated, he can fix the occasional cross-starting problem online within half a minute if he can have tool in hand. So I think both the two measures, the later two measures can reflect the virtue of Tokyo production system. So I think it can help create a system from recovering from the seed problem. So we recommend the two measures below. And then we turn to the second problem. That's the current routine for handling defective seeds deviate from the principle of Tokyo production system. Okay, for this question, my answer is yes. The TMM's current response, I think it does violate from the principle of Tokyo production system. We know TPS provided two guide principles to identify West in reality. One is named Jotuka. We know Jotuka requires making more production problems instantly self-evident and stop producing whenever problem was detected, which can help to build in quality in production. While TMM's response for this defects is they just reported to QC the qualification control inspectors, and then the car went through the rest of the assembly line as usual with the defective seat in it. So firstly, after firm find that there exists a problem in the seat, they still choose to produce cars, but fail to stop producing immediately. It does not follow TPS, we know. Then Jotuka also requires rapid problem sourcing. But we find the seed problem has not investigated on the production line immediately. Thus, as we can see the high level of light vehicle inventory to the West. Based on the reason above, we believe TMM do deviated from the principle of the Tokyo production system. So this is all of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.